Welcome to YouTube's first tech podcast, where once a week we're going to talk tech and talk about the people talking tech. This is Tube Tech TV. You know, listening back to this now, I thought I was going to have like the greatest intro ever, and then you hear it back and you go, maybe not so much. It's a little hardcore, I think, for a tech channel, but, well, it's a first try. That was the best I could do. That's the best I could come up with on, an hour's worth of time. I probably could have did better. Anyway, my name's RJ Mastro, and this is my new, tech podcast. Basically what we're going to be doing is talking about technology in the world, what people are talking about it, and who they are. So, some of the main objectives of this podcast over time, and there's quite a few. One, I would love to add a video element. I just don't have the funds right now to get a really nice camcorder. Right now I'm using a Blue Nessie USB mic and doing my worst to EQ it so I don't sound totally terrible. And I'm editing it on my Mac Mini and just got a simple cheap pair of Sony headphones. Yeah. And you can see that actually in my cover photo on my tech channel. So eventually I would like to get a video element. That would be cool. I'd also like to get a co-host, somebody to bounce stuff off of. I like to get a live element going on, maybe on Ustream or wherever else, just to make it more interactive. And I guess the last objective is just to get people to know about who these YouTubers are out there. There's so many millions and millions of people that are on YouTube, and some people are doing really well and have amazing amount of followers, and some people are doing well and don't. And I'm relying on you guys as well as myself, and I have a lot of great YouTube videos, YouTubers that I want to introduce people to and talk about what they're talking about and get people to their channels. So maybe this would be more like a talk soup kind of podcast. I don't know. Basically, we're also gonna talk about the new things every week and what's going on. And so I guess to get right in it, Mobile World Conference just finished up about a week ago, and they're still talking about it. But we have the Apple conference tomorrow, which is why I thought this might be a good time to get this going. We just had one big conference, and we're gonna have a big announcement from Apple, which I'm pretty sure now everyone knows is gonna be about their Apple Watch. But regardless, I think the timing's good enough to just get this going and see what happens. I am not exactly a professional broadcaster, but neither were a lot of people that started this. So I'm sure over time I'll get better, and hopefully people listen and like it. And, we can make this a fun thing where people, talk to each other in the threads and the comments and, just get people talking about all the cool things that we all love and are passionate about. So I guess to get into Mobile World Conference, Samsung, they were pretty much the big deal there. The S6 and the S6 Edge, they were great. I thought Samsung did a phenomenal job. Of course, we're going to talk about how, Samsung copies everybody and keeps copying Apple with the glass back. Oh, it looks like an iPhone 4. You just can't please everybody that keeps saying Samsung doing the same old thing, copying this, copying that. And you know what? You can't make a car unless it has four wheels, and you got to start somewhere. You got to make it out of metal, and tires usually, tires are made of rubber. And you can't fault the second car manufacturer, or the third, for using the same materials that are practical and very useful and intricate to the design of the phone. So, yeah, I like the glass. I like the size of the screen. I have a Note 4 right now, and it's a little big. I'm kind of starting to miss having a 5 to 5.2 inch screen phone. Had the S5, and I did kind of like that. So they apparently improved the fingerprint scanner. I thought they were going to ditch the capacitive buttons and go on screen. I guess that's not going to happen, and that's too bad, because I can't stand that home button. I don't know why we still have a home button for, just move the fingerprint sensor to the back of the phone. Kind of like where the G3's power button is. Like, I think it was, the HTC One Max that had the fingerprint scanner on the back. I don't see why they do that, and just eliminate these home buttons. I think they're annoying. They kind of get in the way when you're trying to, personally, because I have huge hands and fingers, but so do a lot of other people. When I put a case on my phone and I hit that button, sometimes it's still on the screen. So I'm always selecting things on the screen when I'm trying to hit the home button. That gets annoying. But I saw that they made the home button bigger, so I'm kind of curious to see if that makes it a little easier to use. And let's see. So they improved the cameras to 1.9 aperture. Apparently, it's a little bit brighter screen. The battery life is going to be great. Techno Buffalo actually just released an article telling us that the battery is removable, but kind of not. So you need to go check out Techno Buffalo's website and YouTube channel. They just put up an article showing that in the manual it says you can remove the battery. Now, you're not going to be doing it at an airport or, when your battery dies, just throw in another one. This one, you're going to have to take some screws and out of the phone. It's a whole deal, but, you can definitely do it. So that's kind of cool, I guess. What else did they prove? Oh, the new TouchWiz. So my Note 4 just got the Lollipop update, and I thought about doing a whole video on that. And after using it, I just realized, what is there to really do a video on? It would be a 2 to 3 minute video, because a lot of the things, there's a lot of difference with the new Lollipop update, but you have to look for the aesthetic changes are there, but as you use the phone, you pick up on these little nuances of different things that are different with the phone, whether it's stylistically or functionality wise. It's not obvious things, but you see them more and more as you use the phone. So really, if I were to describe the new Lollipop, I would say it's like as if Google made a launcher and made a Samsung launcher, and then it was made by Google. That's what Lollipop on the TouchWiz looks like. Now, I hear back and forth from people that they think the only way you're going to get the new TouchWiz is if you buy an S6, S6 Edge, or Note 5 in the fall. And it's not going to be backwards compatible. Now, I don't know if they think it's... some people actually think it's a marketing thing where they want you to buy the new phone to get the new TouchWiz experience. And that's why it won't be backwards compatible to like the Note 4 at least. And I kind of tend to disagree, because really it's not like they completely did a huge, massive overhaul on TouchWiz to the point where, you can see in stock Android the difference between Kit Kat and Lollipop. It was a massive overhaul. This new TouchWiz, while it's held back and it does look different, it's not a huge, massive overhaul. Like, it's not like a ground up thing. So I don't really see any benefit to going out and buying an S6. And if that's what you want, if you just want the new TouchWiz, then that's a stupid. I don't think anybody's doing it for that. I'm just making a point. Is that I don't think people are going to go out and buy an S6 just because that's the new TouchWiz. I think people could care less. They just want the new phone. Some of these people got S4s, S5s, maybe even an S3, or maybe they're coming from, the M7. God, I had that phone. That was awful. Great phone, horrible camera. I had so many problems with that phone. But let's stick on topic. I'm sorry. So the Edge, still not crazy about. Has more subtle curves than the Note Edge. But the number one reason I think this phone, even though it's getting a lot more attention than the S, and it remains to be seen because I still haven't held one, but cases. I like to put cases on my phone. Not because I don't like the way the phones look, just because as time has gone on, these phones are getting more and more expensive to replace. Now, I was talking to somebody about my old BlackBerry Curve. I didn't have a case on that phone, but it was, I think, maybe $200 to $300 to replace, and that was at that time the high-end, top-of-the-line smartphone from BlackBerry, and a lot of people had BlackBerry Curves. I had the Sunset Edition, and now we're talking about 2006 to 7, I believe. And, you didn't have to put it in a case. I preferably don't like cases, but when these phones keep getting up in price more and more, I mean, it's turning into, our cell phone bills are turning into car payments, and pretty soon they're going to be more than our rent with this new 5G LTE coming out. But I don't know, what does it retail for? Almost $800? The Note Edge? Maybe more, $880? I think it's $780 for the Note 4, just a regular one. And that's a ridiculous amount for a phone. I know they do a lot of great things, but I personally want to keep a case on it because if I ever want to sell it, I like to have my stuff looking good. No scratches, no dings. So when I sell it, what I usually do is I'll sell the phone for about Galaxy S6 costs probably around $549 off contract. That's what we're hoping. So if I can sell the phone for $300 or $350, somewhere in between there, and get the right person on Craigslist to buy it for that price, and I've done this many times, so I've always been able to do this, then basically I'm paying the difference of $200 to $250, which for a phone like the S6 and the S6 Edge, which they might be $100 difference, I don't think it'll be $50. That's basically a contracted price. So every time I want a new phone, I'm able to do that because I have a case on it. But the S6 Edge, I don't think these cases are going to be able to do anything that's going to protect your phone from cracking that screen. I understand it's got Gorilla Glass 4, but that doesn't mean your phone still can't break. When you drop your phone and you land right on the side, sorry if that hurts somebody's ears, what's going to be there to protect it? Nothing. You have more of a chance of breaking this phone than you do anything else. When you have a case like I do on my Note 4, of course you can still break it even with the case, but you have raised edges around the screen, and then there's just one side that's exposed. Now you have three sides, and nobody drops their phone perfectly. So I could just imagine the torment that carrier employees are going to go through. People that didn't buy the insurance, should have bought the insurance, want their money back. It's going to be a whole thing, because this phone, it's a good size. The curves aren't as, it's a functional Edge phone. I think it's more functional than the Note Edge. And I think that's why it's getting more attention, because of how functional it is in comparison to the Note 4 Edge. I have a feeling it might, outsell the S6. Of course, that remains to be seen, because if if it's going to cost an extra $100 more, maybe a lot of people won't go for it. But for the people that do, I don't know. I kind of foresee that to be a problem. And I'd like to know what you guys think. If you guys think that, the Edge is going to have a major issue. Right now, I don't hear people about the Note 4 Edge complaining about breaking their phones. But then again, I don't know too many people that have one. I don't know one person that has one. I don't know one person that has one when I'm on the websites and the threads and the comment sections. Not too many people are telling me they have a Note Edge. So I'm curious if anybody has any feedback out there about what their experience so far has been with dropping a Note 4 Edge. I think that would be, something interesting to know. Have you been dropping it on one side? Has the cases been, protecting it? Now you have two sides exposed, so I think it's going to get worse. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the HTC M9. For those of you that had the M8, like myself, you got a much better phone with a little bit extra better camera, but you still got that 4 ultra pixel camera. And God, that thing was awful. I'm sorry. I hated it. It drives me nuts, because I've been watching HTC make some really great building phones. Great built phones over the last 3 to 4 years. They've been doing it, longer than that, making great built phones. Jeez, I can't say that. Every year, same thing. We've improved camera technology. Every time I watch their press conferences and they say they've done something great with camera technology, and you see in their press conferences the pictures that they put up showing the new photos, the kind of photos you're going to be able to take with your new HTC phone, and it's bullshit. 100% bullshit. And there's people out there that buy it every year. They don't realize that those are DSLR quality photos, photoshopped and edited and put in the phones. So I'm already hearing things that the M9's 20 megapixel camera sensor is not that great. It's going to be better than the ultra pixel camera. But really, if you've used any of the One phones over the course of the last, was it 3 years now? Generally, you had a great experience using Sense and how well it works with Android. So, what are you really getting buying a brand new M9, a 1080p screen, which I know a lot of people will still like, because a lot of people were complaining about battery life. That screen sucks it up. So, 4K screen will suck up battery life big time. So HTC decided to go and stay with a 1080p screen, which honestly, I think that's great. They got a newer processor, faster processor, more RAM, new Sense. I really like the themes that they allow you to choose from. That's cool. But what are they really doing as far as a phone goes that's other than the camera that you really need? You're not going to have that much of a better experience between the M8 and the M9 when it comes to the usability of the phone. I still have my M8, and it's still buttery smooth, as so many people like to use that term when it comes to phones. So I don't really see what you're getting other than a 20 megapixel sensor that, a lot of reviewers are already saying, it's not really all it's cracked up to be. And I remember hearing that it's a Sony sensor. So I have been told by people that used the Z3 and own a Z3, the 8 megapixel option, for some reason, makes a better picture than the 20 megapixel option. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why that is. Maybe somebody can and would care to comment about that. So I do wonder if that's the case with the M9. And, as somebody who has a lot of, digital photography experience, I like the idea of ultra pixels. I really do. I'm glad they kind of kept it on the front of the phone, because I think the pictures that I've seen taken with it, they can come out pretty damn good. But detail and quality, that's where it lacks. So when you're taking up, a close picture with the ultra pixel camera, it does a great, phenomenal job with it. When you're taking a scenery, landscape, even a far away kind of portrait, 6 to 8 feet away, you can still miss some details and the quality of the picture. I'm also glad they got rid of whole duo camera for the depth of field and the blur. Nokia, their Lumia phones, they've had that feature for almost 2 years now, and it's all software based, and it worked better than having two separate cameras. So I just don't see the point of, if you have the M8, you're not missing much by not having the M9, except for that camera. If you need a camera that's that much better, then I guess go for it. But apparently, from what they're saying, the camera's not all that. And that's kind of disappointing. That's something I know a lot of M8 users have been wanting, was just a better camera on that phone. And I know I always said that if you just put a better camera on this phone, you had the perfect smartphone. On-screen buttons work great. The front-facing speakers, the boom sound is phenomenal. I love listening to other podcasts and radio shows and music on my M8. And even on my M7 when I had that. HTC has been consistent, making a good quality built phone and a great user experience with Sense. And they've only been, making it better. But pretty much everything you're able to get on the M9, you're going to get eventually on your M8 when you just upgrade the software. So, a better camera, can that get you to switch over from an M8 to an M9? I don't think it can. Can it get you to go from a Galaxy S5 or an iPhone 5S and switch over to an M9? I really don't. Maybe. I know Samsung users are pretty loyal, and I think going from an S4 or an S5 to an S6 or S6 Edge is a considerable upgrade. So from the 5 to the 6 to 6 Edge, you have a big difference in the phone. M8 to M9, not so much. So I think HTC kind of missed the ball again. Yeah. So, all right. So 2 more things I want to talk about really quick, and honestly, they won't take up too much time. The LG Urbane and the Urbane LTE. where do we begin? Best smartphone, best smartwatch ever designed. I think it's got the best design look for, going to a meeting, going out casual. It's got a lot of it, different looks. You can customize it, and I think it's the best looking smartwatch out there. For those of you that don't want people to know you have a smartwatch on, there you go. The rose gold color works really well. The stainless steel, and then they got the Urbane LTE, which is supposed to be almost. It looks in the pictures I'll show you. I'll post them up right now. It looks almost twice the size of the Motorola smartwatch, and I don't know, a lot of people have been saying. I read one article that said who's going to wear this thing, and I think that's where a lot of tech people don't understand the fashion industry, and I think LG did a great job researching that or getting somebody to do that, because you'd be surprised how many people have very big faced watches. In fact, that was one of the reasons I didn't buy the Motorola smartwatch, just because I felt it was still a little too small on my wrist. I'm 6'3", 310 pounds. I'm a big dude. I don't want a small little watch on my wrist that makes it look like I'm wearing a girl's watch. Okay, it's not that small, but the Urbane LTE is that much bigger, and I think it looks great. Now, if the software is up to par, and people don't have too much to complain about that, I think they might have made, I don't know, the perfect smartwatch. And of course, that goes to be seen. Is that the way you say it? Yeah. Remains to be seen when we got tomorrow. Apple's going to reveal the Apple Watch. It's already been revealed, but no one's been able to get their hands on it yet. So we'll have a, pricing and availability tomorrow, know when it's going to go on sale. Maybe they, the phone, the watch has already been announced and shown. So maybe Apple's already got it in their stores and is planning to start selling it tomorrow. Who knows? So we'll find out together, I guess, whether or not the Apple Watch is a bust. And I think design-wise, it's not that bad looking, but I'm a little skeptical about that dial on the side. I don't know how functional that's going to be. If people are going to like using it or not, time will tell. Yeah. So, and then the last thing, the Sony Z4 tab. The lightest tablet ever made is what they're saying. Not only that, it's a beautiful tablet. Runs smooth according to everyone else, and honestly, I can't wait to get my hands on this, because I tried buying an iPad again and it just wasn't working out for me. Ever since I made the switch back to Android, about 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 years ago. And I just haven't found too much use for the iPad when I went back and bought one. And so I've been looking for a good tablet to buy. And this Sony, it's a beautiful, great build. Water and dust proof. It's got an 8 megapixel camera on the back, which I don't really know if anybody's going to use that, but still, why not? It's got the aluminum backing on the back, 2K screen, and a ridiculous battery. I think it's 900 milliamp battery? No, 9,000 milliamp battery, something like that. I didn't check. I'm sorry. Again, it's my first podcast, so I'm not 100% prepared. I just wanted to get this out there and just see if anybody gives a shit about what I'm saying. They might not. Whatever. Yeah, so that's... there's not too much about the Sony tab that just wows me when it comes to software. I'm not a PlayStation guy, so that whole, use your PS4 on your Sony products, I think it's great. But if I'm Not if I don't play PlayStation 4, it has no use for me. But I kind of would like to test it out just to see how well it does work. So I think that's pretty much where we're at today. I'm gonna wrap this up, and we'll see what happens tomorrow at Apple's conference. I'm hoping they do a couple refreshes on the Mac Airs. We'll see the Apple Watch. They're going to let us know how much money they're making because, that's always helpful to us, determining who's the best. And honestly, I don't care. I'm not one of those that's biased towards one or the other. I like both. I use a Mac Mini. I use Bose speakers. I have a Note 4. I had a 5, a 5S, an M7, M8, M9, S5, LG G3, Note 4. I have a Nokia 635 that I've been using. I bought it for $65. I gotta tell you, this little phone, it's awesome. I use it to go to the gym, and I use it as an MP3 player because I don't want to take my Note 4 to the gym. So I just bought this for $65, and hook up these Bluetooth headphones to it. And it's not connected to a network, and it works great. It's the best. It's one, between the JBL Clip. This is like the best around $50 I've ever spent on tech. It was a Nokia, the Lumia. Excuse me, it's not Nokia anymore, right? The Lumia 635. So if you're looking for like an iPod alternative, go out and get a prepaid Lumia 635. It's got a 5 megapixel camera on the back. No flash, which is weird. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You can put a micro SD card in the back, and it's got great battery life. The screen is, what you expect for a screen on a $65 phone. But the interface, it's got the new Denim update, and it works beautifully. Smooth like butter. Yes, like the Russians say, like butter. Sure. Yeah, that was my attempt at humor. Whatever. Anyway, hopefully some of you guys like this, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't. Maybe no one's going to hear this. I don't know. But I'd like to find out your comments and suggestions, and this is my first time doing this, so I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. If you got any recommendations for topics, please. I'm going to set up a Twitter page, another email, and just, you can email me on the YouTube channel, whatever you want. Maybe I'm going to edit this. I'm not going to edit this one, but maybe I'll edit for future stuff to make it more, less formal. But that was what I was kind of going for. So this is kind of off the fly, so to speak. And I wanted to do more of a live element, but because I don't do this very often, I babble a lot. So, but hopefully you enjoyed what you heard. Hopefully you like listening to me. Hopefully you listen again. And thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.